Okay, yeah. So next question, CSAT 2024. We have covered every question. We will cover every question of data sufficiency that has been asked from 2019 to 2025. No single question will be left. Okay, so let's continue. It says, is x plus y an integer? Okay, this I need to find. Now, this is a yes no question. This you should know by now. Yes or a no. Okay, if we get to a definite answer, then that is it. That means that is sufficient. Now, first is 2x plus y is an integer. Does this tell you that x plus y will be an integer or not? No, it does not tell you. Why it does not tell you? This entire question we will focus on disproving the statements. Disproving is always our focus. Proving does not do anything for us because there can be many such pairs. Okay, now 2x plus y is an integer. I take two possibilities. See, I pick, let's say x y is equals to, one time I am taking, let's say 1 by 2 and 1, and the other time I am taking 1 and 1. Now what I'll get? 2x plus y value. 2x plus y will be what? If I take this, it will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2, and let's find what will be x plus y. So 2x plus y for this one will be what? It will be 1 by 2 into 2, that is 1, 1 plus 1, 2. Now for this one it will be 1 plus 1, that is 2 plus 1, 3. Now let's find x plus y. So for this it will be 3 by 2. For this it will be 1 plus 1, 2. Is x plus y an integer? We don't know. Here, what you will get the answer? Looking at here, x plus y is an integer? No. Here what you will get? Yes. So you are getting no and a yes both. If you get both, that means that is not enough. Understood? Only insufficiency cases when you get yes and no both. Now next, x plus 2y is an integer. Same thing we will do for here also. Now I will do it for you, but you understand by symmetry. 2x plus y is an integer, is not proving anything, then x plus 2y also will not prove anything, because x or y to change हो सकता है ना, that can change, it does not matter, correct? These are just variables, so it does not matter. So this also won't be enough. Just instead of this 1 by 2, now I'll take 1 and 1 by 2, and then again 1 by 1. Again I'll get the same thing. So here I will get x plus y is equals to 3 by 2, which is not a integer, and here I will get x plus y equal to 3, which is an integer. So again this also singly won't be enough. Understood? Now both of them alone are not enough. Now let's try the combination. Combination में क्या होता है? Now see this. So basically, if I tell you, it says 2x plus y is an integer, so I call it 2x plus y is equals to some integer 1. Okay, and x plus 2y is equals to some integer 2. This is fine. This is fine. So this and this I get. These are both integers. Now what I do, I add them both. If I add them both, the equations, I get 3 times x plus 3 times y is equals to I1 plus I2. This you can see, 3x plus 3y. Also I can write it like this, 3 times x plus y. I take 3 outside. 3 times x plus y is equals to I1 plus I2. Then x plus y is equals to I1 plus I2 by 3. Correct? Integer 1 plus integer 2 by 3. Now if sum of I1 and I2 is divisible by 3, if the sum is divisible by 3, then though you will say that x plus y is an integer. If the sum is not divisible by 3, you will say that x plus y is not an integer. This is the simple philosophy. X plus y will be an integer if it is divisible by 3, I1 plus I2. If it is not, it won't be. So basically we don't know very clearly what it will be. So all these sums won't be divisible by 3, of course. So that means x plus y is not surely an integer or non-integer. It depends. So answer becomes both are not enough. Now what mistake that some coachings have done is they have, instead of this I1 and I2, what they did, they started taking values for x and y. Okay, and they did what? See, just see now. They took very different values and then they started trying it. For example, they took x is equals to 1, let's say, or even further, x is equals to 2 and y is equals to 11. Very far off values. Okay, it's not a very specific case. And then they also tried x is equals to 4, let's say, and y is equals to 13. Very far off value. Random values also they took. And then they put it here. Then they were getting some I1 and I2. When they added them, it was always getting divisible by 3. And then they marked answer as both together are sufficient. Now why they were getting like this? They were getting like this because ultimately see, if you take this 2, 11, 4, 12, 13, any number, if you take, not fractions, if you take any number, then of course x plus y has to be an integer, no? If this is integer, this is an integer, their sum has to be integer. Now if their sum has to be integer, if their sum has to be an integer, if this has to be an integer, then I1 plus I2 must be divisible by 3. There is no other option. So they are essentially taking values of x and y as integers, and then they are getting I1 and I1 plus I2, of course, something like which gets divided by 3, and that creates the confusion. They started giving answer as C. Absolutely wrong. You should not take integers, otherwise this question is a zarurat kya hai? If you take these values, this is integer, sum will be also integer. So then you are doing nothing. This is false logic. So actually, if you take some other numbers, for example, I'll just give you an example for someone if they ask you, because I've seen this at many places, they've started taking numbers. So take I1 and I2 in such a way that their sum is not divisible by 3. Let's say I pick 2x plus y is equals to 0 and x plus 2y is equals to 1. If I pick these two values, can you see 0 plus 1? 1 divided by 1 is not divisible by 3. So this is working fine. This should work fine. Now let's find the value of x and y. How you will find? Let's say I multiply the above equation by 2. So this becomes what? 4x plus 2y is equals to 0, and this becomes x plus 2y is equals to 0. I subtract them both. What I get? 2y, 2y cancel. 4x minus x is 3x is equals to, sorry, this is 1. So this is minus, so minus 1. So I get x is equals to minus 1 by 3. And if I put it here, x is equals to minus 1 by 3, I will get 1 minus 1 by 3. So if I put it here, I will get 2y is equals to 1 plus, now here it is in minus, there it will go in plus, 1 plus 1 by 3, that is 2y is equals to 4 by 3, or 1s are 2s are, that is y is equals to 2 by 3. So these are the two values that you could have taken, that x is minus 1 by 3, y is 2 by 3, and if you take these values, then this is an example where 2x plus y becomes an integer, x plus 2y also becomes an integer, but x plus y is not an integer. You can check it. Okay. So if you start taking values of x and y, of course you won't be getting this, because this is not very easy to think right off your hat. Okay. So this is how you do. Otherwise, just simple, if this is the sum, it may be divisible by 3, it may not be divisible by 3. Ultimately, you can have any numbers here, correct? Any number you put here, you can still solve the two linear equations. Understood? So that's why answer becomes, the question cannot be answered even by using both statements together. Okay, then next. Next, it says a person buys 3 articles P, Q and R for 50 rupees. The price of the article Q is 16. Which is the least? Okay. So PQR, P plus Q plus R is equals to 50. Now Q is given as 16. Q is given as 16. That means what? If I put it here, then P plus R becomes 34. P plus R becomes 34. Now it says Q is the least. Q is the least. That means P and R cannot be less than 16. So what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? One possibility is both of them are 17, then it makes 34. Other possibilities, one of them is 18, other one is 16. These are the only two possibilities because Q is the least. So they cannot be lesser than Q. So 18 and 16 or 17 or 17. So there are two possibilities, either this or this. Now let's read the question. What is the price of article P? So price of article P, can I get to a single number? So first statement, the cost of P is not more than R. So P is not more than R. That means P is not more than R. So that means P is not more than R. That means P is not equal to 18. Because if P is equal to 18, R becomes 16. And this is a problem. So P is not equal to 18. The cost of P is not more than R. But one possibility still remains, that R is 18 and P is 16. Now the cost of P is not more than R. This is still holding. That is, the cost of P is not more than R. So P is less than equal to R. This is the equation. So this is rejected, but this possibility still remains. Now what are the two possibilities? Either both of them are 17 or P is equal to 16 and R is equal to 18. These are still the two possibilities that remain. Then, so first is not enough. Then second, the cost of R is not more than P. Cost of R is not more than P. Now can you see similar equation you will get? That is, one possibility is both of them are 17 and the other possibility will be the cost of R is not more than P. So R is less than equal to P. That means what? R can be at max, R can be 16 and P can be 18. These are the possibility according to statement 2. So again, two possibilities not enough. Correct? This is saying that P is less than equal to R. This is saying R is less than equal to P. Both of them separately are not enough. But if you combine them both, you combine this equation and this equation together, then what you get? Both of them have to be equal. Here P is less than equal to R, here R is less than equal to P. That means P is equal to R. If you get P is equal to R, here also if you want to see, then 18 and 16, this one is saying 16 and 18, this one is saying, in both which one holds? Not this, neither this, only possibility 17 and 17. So from both together you are able to answer the question. So answer becomes C. Okay, then next. Now what it says? This one says, has P scored more marks than Q? Okay, the sum of marks scored by P and Q is equal to sum of marks scored by R and S. Okay, so P plus Q is equal to R plus S. Now it is asking you, the question is P greater than Q? Definite yes or definite no, both are fine. Then first statement is saying P plus Q is equal to R plus S. Does this give you anything? No, you don't know between P and Q which one is bigger, which one is smaller. So one is not enough. Then second, the sum of marks scored by P and S. Okay, so marks scored by P and S is greater than marks scored by Q and R. Does this tell you anything about P and Q? No, it still doesn't. Why doesn't? Why doesn't? Because see this is like a seesaw. This is like a seesaw. Break it up, bigger. So in the first one, it is saying that P and Q are sitting here and R and S are sitting here. Can you tell? These are 4 people, just 4 random people. Now can you tell which among them P or Q is bigger, P or Q is heavier? Nothing. You don't know. There's some only you understand. Then the other statement is saying like this, that if I exchange Q and S, if I put S here and Q on that side, then P and S becomes more than R and Q. Now who has changed positions? Q and S has changed position. So only thing that I can tell, because when S came here it became heavier, that is S is greater than Q. Nothing between P and Q. Okay, take 4 different weights people. For example, P may be the mother or P may be the child of Q. Does not matter. Only the sum matters here. So this, by this seesaw you can understand only thing that you can get from here is S is greater than Q. So the sum of marks scored by this and this, both of them together is also not enough to answer the question. Answer becomes D. Cannot be answered using all of this together also. Then last from 2024 is this. Now it says what? Age of P and Q is less than 100 years but more than 10 years. So P comma Q is more than 10 years but less than 100 years. Okay, then if that means P and Q are 2-digit numbers, that's it, nothing much. Then it says if you interchange the digits of the age of P, the number represents the age of Q. So basically if P is like XY, then Q becomes YX. This is what is given in the question. Now it is asking you what is the difference of their ages. What is the difference of their ages? Ages का क्या difference है? So statement 1, the age of P is greater than age of Q. Okay, so statement 1 is saying P is greater than Q. Then can you tell the difference between the ages of P and Q? So basically difference between P and Q or Q minus P, depending on which one is bigger, does not matter. If I have to tell difference between you and me, I say difference between you and, let's say difference between me, Prakhar, and let's say Prakriti. Between Prakhar and Prakriti, the difference between the money that they have is 5,000. This only is being asked. Now who has more does not matter. So even if it tells you the age of P is greater than Q, does not matter to you. Now read the second statement. The sum of their ages is 11 by 6 times of their difference. Sum of their ages means P plus Q is equals to 11 by 6 times their difference, their age difference. Now for this you need to know something about interchange of digits, that we read in number system. So I will be using the result directly. So basically if there is a number like this xy and if you interchange the digits, this video also you can find out interchange of digits and then you put legacy IAS, you will get. Okay, so interchange of digits I have covered. Now so xy and yx, now the difference between them, for example here P minus Q will be equal to 9 times x minus y. Here because I have assumed it P to be bigger, so I have x minus y here. If I assume Q to be bigger, it will be Q minus P and y minus x. Okay, it just depends on which one you are placing before. So this you get. Also one more thing that you can get is P plus Q is equals to 11 times x plus y. Just write them in place value form, that is 10x plus y, 10y plus x, like this, and then you can solve. You will get to it. So P plus Q is this, P minus Q is this, P plus Q becomes 11 times x plus y. This becomes 11 by 6 and P minus Q is what? P minus Q is 9 times x minus y. Correct? Now cancel out 11 and 11. This cancel out 3 times, 2 times, 2 you can send there. So this becomes 2 times x plus y is equals to 3 times x minus y. Then this becomes 2x plus 2y is equals to 3x minus 3y. 3y you can send here, it becomes 5y. 3x minus 2x is x. So x is equals to 5y. X is equals to 5y. Now how many numbers are possible for P where x is equals to 5y and P looks like xy? So let's start writing values of xy. Now if I take y is equals to 0, then x is 5 times this, so this also becomes 0. So this is a rejected possibility, correct? Because it has to be between 10 and 100. Then let's try another value for xy. Another value for xy, I take y is equals to 1, then x becomes what? X becomes 5 because 5 times y, correct? So 51 is a possibility. Then let's try for any other. So let's say y is now 2, then x becomes what? X does not become a single digit number, it becomes 10. Is 10 a single digit number? No. So this is not possible. Similarly, if you take y is equals to 3, it will become 15, 20. All of them are not possible. Only possibility that you somehow get is xy is equals to 51. A very good question. I don't know how they got it, maybe from some book or they made it, but the good thing is that you are getting only one fixed number, that is 51. So from here you can get p is equals to 51 and q is equals to 15. Can you tell the difference between them exactly? Yes, you can tell the difference between them exactly. 51 minus 15, it will be what? 36. 36. So difference will be 36. You can tell it exactly only by using statement 2 alone. 1 is actually not needed. Why? Because only the difference between their ages is asked. If the difference is p minus q or q minus p, does not matter. So which one is greater does not matter. Only 2 is enough to answer the question. So answer becomes, the question can be answered by using one of the statement alone, but cannot be answered using the other statement alone. Answer becomes A. Okay, so that's it. We are done with 2024 data sufficiency questions. There were 10 questions that they gave in this year. Hope you understood the concepts more rather than finding out the cases directly. That's it. Thank you.